Hi, my name is Rakesh Singh and I welcome you on this jQuery video session. Thank you so much for joining Naresh IT Technologies video session. In this today video session, we are going to discuss about radio button examples using jQuery functionality. And this video session is a part 1 in which we will discuss few examples related to radio button, how to work with jQuery functionality. So in this video session, we will discuss following examples. Example number 1. Radio button with a toggle option to perform any operation based on true, nothing but checked, and false, unchecked condition. As I have discussed in examples of checkbox, and I hope you remember that a single checkbox can be used for toggle option, means one time if you click on the checkbox it is going to be checked, and again if you click on the checkbox it is going to be unchecked. This is the default nature of a checkbox element. But whenever we need to perform the same functionality using a radio button element, then some problem is going to occur. What problem is going to occur? A single radio button is going to be available on the page, and if user click on that it is going to be checked, no problem in that. But again if you click on the radio button it is not going to unchecked, because radio button can be used for selecting a single option from a group of radio buttons. But I am talking about that working with the only one radio button as a toggle option. Radio button by default doesn't support any toggle option, but we can make radio button to perform toggle option by adding the jQuery functionality. How? That example we are going to do that. And example number 2, what we will discuss in this video session, displaying the text and value of a checked radio button in a group of radio buttons. So in our HTML document we may have group of radio button. Among that any one radio button can be checked by the user. And what radio button is checked by the user? If user click on the submit button, then it should be display. If user did not select any option among the group of radio buttons and click on submit button, then should display a message no radio button checked on the HTML page. So these two examples we are going to elaborate using jQuery functionality. Let's start. Example number 1. So I am coming to what? Visual Studio development environment, in which I have here what? One HTML page with me. The name is HTML page.html. No problem. Where we have jQuery library is already referenced, and the second script is defined in which ready event of the document has been registered to do any code whenever the document it gets ready. And in the your HTML document, in this body section I have some heading, welcome to Naresh IT Technologies jQuery video session, and here I am going to keep some content. So what my requirement is, I just wanted to use one input type equals to, what is it, radio, ID equals to RDB1, any ID you can specify, I am giving RDB1, and here there is no requirement of value now, so going to be close. This radio button should have their text. So how to provide text? Same like how we have done into the previous video session for the checkbox examples. By using label element for attribute equals to value of which element you want to associate the text. So for that element, what is the ID attribute value? That value should come to this for attribute. So for whom? For RDB1. And what text? Show image. And below I am going to use line break, one more line break, and have one element called img src equals to the path of images. So I have an image with me in my project kept into images folder, and the one image name what? Naresh logo.jpg. ID equals to img1 and specifying their width 300 pixel and the height 300 pixel, specific size. By default this image is going to be appear now. I want by default this image should be hide. So simply you set what in markup only, one style display what is that, none. If you make display none, this element do not appear on the HTML page at the runtime when gets loaded into the browser window. So in that case, what I want to do that, let's user click on this radio button in order to what, show image. So they click on the radio button, going to checked. You can write the condition in jQuery, whenever it is checked, then show the image. Again if you click on the radio button, right, so it should be unchecked, but default nature of radio button is what, it is always checked, and again if you click, it won't unchecked unless until we select any other radio button in that same group. It means by default single radio button no use, but I wanted to use single radio button only as a toggle option to perform the functionality based on the true condition and false condition, like how we have done in an earlier video session in the checkbox example case. But by default do not make. So how to make it? By writing our custom code. So how we will write the custom code? Let's start. So this is done that. Now go into the jQuery code portion as soon as document gets ready. Before I write any code, let me show you first of all. So I am going to run this page in a browser without writing any line of code. By default how it is going to come, right? You observe that in this coming here, what is it? Show image radio button, it is unchecked. Now if I click on the radio button, it's going to be checked, right? It is checked, and again if you click on that, it never gets unchecked, because default nature of radio button what, not unchecked if you click once again on the same radio button unless until you select any other radio button into the group. But checkbox has what default nature, if you click on that gets checked, again if you click on the same checkbox it is going to what, uncheck. But this element doesn't have that nature, but I want to perform that nature. Then how to do that? By writing some custom code using jQuery functionality. So again click on that, see I am clicking but not going to be uncheck. So what will do that? In this document ready, we will take one condition, observe if dollar of what is it, hash rdb1 means selected one element rdb1 dot handle the what, event click of what is it, function. It means you are handling the what, click event of the what, rdb1. So whenever click, this event is going to fire. Fine. Here we will take outside one variable where flag equals to what is it, true. One global variable I am taking, flag equals to a true boolean variable with a true. Here I am going to write what, if flag equals to what, true, then something should be happen. What something should be happen? If flag is true, then the radio button element must be checked. So you are writing dollar of what is it, hash rdb1, right, dot prop of what is it, checked, comma true. Means you are setting the checked property with what, true, to which element, one element with the id of rdb1, and after that resetting flag variable, flag equals to what is it, false, right, flag became false, and this become what is it, checked true. Again if user click this radio button, so again this is going to be fire. Now this time flag was true or false, because first time clicked already became false. So checking flag was true, no, it is a false. Then go to which part, else part, and the else part what required, dollar of hash rdb1 dot prop of checked comma false. Means the earlier radio button what, it is already checked, now this must be what is it, false, unchecked, and again reset flag variable equals to what is it, true, vice versa, one time false, one time true. This is like this. Or if you want to, if you are getting confusion, here this check true and this is the false. So make it flag variable what is a by default false. More clear. If radio button gets checked true, then flag set what is it true. Right. So flag is what false. Flag equals to true. Right. So here what is written false. So false equals to true. No, it is going to what else part. That's what I have done. What is it here by default true. Right. And if you want to make with the false, then here don't write equals to true. Make what is it false. So let's do here flag equals to false. Flag equals to what you check condition. First check what with the false. Means by default flag is what false. Yes. If it is a false means not checked. Then what is the radio button going to be checked. And flag become what is it true. Means it is already checked. Now again if you click on that going to check flag equals to false. No, flag is true means already checked. Then go to what part else part. Then what make it unchecked by using false. This flag set to what is it false means it is what unchecked. So save it, come to here browser and refresh the page. Right now radio button checked no, and what is the by default flag false. If I click on that, click event is going to fire. Yes. Checking flag equals to false. Yes. False equals to false. Then what is it, this radio button must be checked and flag reset to what is it true. So click on that, it is going to checked. Right. Again if you click on that, so click event again going to fire. Now what is the flag value right now before clicking true. So if you click on that checking flag equals to false means true equals to false. No, it is already true. It is already checked true. Then go to which part else part. This radio button must be what set checked property with what false, nothing but unchecked. And again flag variable reset to what is it false value. So click on this. Right, it is working like a toggle option by adding this additional code by using jQuery functionality. By default doesn't support what is the toggle option, but I am able to make what toggle option. Now what my requirement is to here display the what image. So simply comes down to here what will do that dollar of hash img1 dot show is going to show the image, and here in the case of false dollar of hash img1 dot what is the method hide, jQuery method hide call. Save it, come to the browser, refresh this HTML page. Now say show image going to display. Again click on this radio button, hide image. But what one more point is here need to remember that if I click on the show image showing that, but this text is not changing toward hide image. So after showing image I want this text of the radio button which I have done using label element must be changed toward hide image. And again if I click on the hide image then change to what is it show image. So for this purpose here we are going to do what dollar of label for equals to which one rdb1. Right. So once the image is shown for this label which is the associate with the what for attribute value of what is that our radio button element id rdb1 dot what is that text of what is that hide image. Right. And in the case of else part, once the image gets hide, then again text of radio button must be reset to what is it show image. So what required dollar of label of for attribute equals to value rdb1 right square bracket close dot text method of what text show image. Right. So again I repeat once again, just please check that. As soon as document gets ready, fine. I am taking one global variable what is it flag equals to what is it false, because by default flag is a false, and I am going to associate what is it click event with function to which element radio button element. Means whenever you click on the radio button this event function is going to fire. That time checking if flag goes to false, so first time flag is a false and radio button is not checked. Yes, condition true. Then what going to apply the checked property with what? True value to particular what? Radio button. It means the radio button going to be checked, right? And flag value what to set? Now true. If flag value set to true, it means what? Radio button is what? Checked. Fine. And that image must be what is it? Shown. After that, the radio button text which I have defined by using what? Label. This is going to set with the what? Text hide image. Now after that, user may again click on the radio button. So whenever click on the radio button, again this click event function going to fire. Now checking this time, flag equals to false? No. In flag, what is the value available? True. True equals to false? No. Then cut what? Else part. In else part, radio button setting the property, which property? Checked with what? False. Means it was already checked, now it is going to be what? Unchecked. And flag what to set? False. And the image must be what is it? Hide. And after that, label text is going to change to what is it? Show image. Save it. Come to the browser window. Refresh the HTML page. Show image. Once I click on the show image, image is going to show. Image is going to show now. Once image is displayed here, and you can observe the text of radio button. What to change? Hide image. Again user want to hide image. Now click on this radio button. Once click, it is going to what? Hide the image, and again text back to what is it? Show image. So this is the way how to work with a single radio button as a toggle option to perform any operation, any action based upon the true condition and based upon the what? False condition. But by default, radio button, single radio button doesn't perform any toggle option because the default nature is what? Click checked, again click no unchecked, unless until you select any other radio button in the group. But I have only one group, and in the group only I have only what? Single radio button. No use. But I am able to make use of that as a toggle option by writing the custom code with the jQuery library file. Nothing but with the jQuery functionality, you can say that. So this is the way how we have handled the what is it? This first example. Now we are going to discuss about what is it? Second example. Display what? Text value of a checked radio button in a group of radio button. When a user click the submit button, if any radio button is not checked, then display no radio button checked message on the page. So how we will do that? For this, come to the develop environment. Changing something. I am going to remove this now all, and I am going to write what? Like this. B tag. What is it? Select gender. Right? In this I am going to have two radio button. One is a male, one is what? Female. So going to have input type equals to what is it? Radio. ID equals to RDB1. Value I am keeping what is it? M, short name. Going to close. And their text I am going to define using what? Label for RDB1. And what is the text? Male. Now input second type radio, right? ID RDB2 and value short name, what is it? F. And for this label text, label for RDB2 and what the text? Female. But both I wanted to define into one single group. So I hope you remember in the checkbox example video session, we have been discussed how to make grouping of checkbox by using one attribute called what is it? Name. So this input element going to have one attribute called what is it? Name. And name I am giving what? Gender. And the same group name I am going to define to what? Second radio button name, what is gender. So how many group till now we have created? Only one group. What name? Gender. And in the gender group, how many radio elements are present? Two radio elements. One is for male, one is for what? Female. It means among these two radio element, user can select any one. Either the person is a male, so male to select. Either the person is a female, then female to be selected. What my requirement is? Line break. And I am going to have one button. Input type equals to, I am using button. You may use type equals to submit if you want to make this form, this HTML page along with this all data to be submitted to server, then you must use what is that? Input type equal to submit. But I am using input type equals to button. ID equals to btn1 or btn what is it? Submit. value I am giving submit. This can be given any value. Close. And after that line break, one more line break, I am using what? Div id div result, and in this display the result. So what requirement? Now come to here, run this page. There is no jQuery code. This all jQuery code I am going to remove now. So this is the code of the example number 1. I just remove that. So code is not present. View in a browser. Simply how it comes, right? Select gender, either male, either what is a female. User did not select anyone. Click on what is that? Submit. Then display here message, no radio button checked. Or please select any gender. Any message you can display. If I select male and click on submit, selected gender is what? Male. Oblique their value, what is it? M. So I want to display text also and what is it? Value also. So for this particular purpose, when you required, whenever you click on the button submit. So what you must do here, $of hash btn, what is it? Submit, right? Dot what is it? Click of what is it? Function. Means you need to perform the operation whenever the button submit gets clicked. So you are selecting using jQuery selector function what? Button submit, and attaching what? Event click, and this event represent to what? One function, and in this function write the code to be executed whenever this event is going to triggered, right? So click of the function. Now what do you do that? Among the group of radio button, anyone is checked or not checked. So we have many ways to define. We'll do one by one all. First of all, I write if $of I am going to define what? Input colon what is it? Radio. Group name gender, right? So I am selecting what is it? Input element type of radio with what name? Gender. And in this anyone is colon checked. Among this group of radio button, anyone is checked returns what? True. So you can check here equals to true, or by default if you remove this, by default it checks for true only. If it is true means if anyone is checked, definitely anyone will be checked if user has clicked on any radio button, because in a group of radio button user cannot check multiple radio button, only one radio button. So if anyone is checked, then coming down get their what value and display it. If no one is checked, then go to what part? Else part. Display message $of what is it? Hash div result dot html method, display into bold format, style with what? Color colon what is it? Red. So I am going to use the word style equals to what is it? Color colon what is it? Red. Going to close. What message? No radio button is what is it? Checked. Any message you can display. Don't depends on the same message what I am trying to display right now in my video session. Whichever message you require display as per your business development need, that you can display that. Suppose sometime your client asks that don't display this message, display what? Please select gender. You can display the message. If it is anyone checked, then in this part get their what? Text and get their what? Value. For whom? For the checked radio button. So what you write that here? Where RDB. In this I am going to store check the radio button object equals to $of input colon what is it? Radio. Name equals to name gender, right? And colon what is it? Checked. So this jQuery selector expression what does? It select all the element type what tag input, type of radio, which group? Gender, and in that whichever it is checked that is going to return. So we know that in a group of radio button there is no possibility to have multiple radio button to be checked, any one radio button to be checked. So this jQuery selector with this expression what returns? A single radio button element as an object stored into which one? RDB if it is anyone checked. So already we are writing this condition inside what? Is checked. Definitely anyone is checked, but which one is checked, that we are going to get by using this line of code and coming to what? RDB. Now I want to get what? Where step by step value equals to rdb dot what is it? Val method. Means for the radio button object, what is the value? So for every radio element input type equals to radio, value is given what is it? M. Here value given what? F. So this value how to fetch? By using the what method? Val method. But I want to get their text. There is no text property to what input type equals radio button. Text always defined by using what? Label, and that label associated to the particular radio button using for attribute value of a radio button ID. The name is rdb1 and here name is rdb what is it? 2. So what required here? Now you write where text equals to dollar of what is it? Label for equals to, right, label for whom? For the particular radio button which is checked. So what is their ID? I don't know as a programmer. At runtime user may select a first radio button, user may select what? Second radio button. So whichever radio button selected, nothing but whichever radio button checked by using this line of code, it is coming to which variable? rdb. So from this rdb get the what? Value of their ID attribute. So here what required? Plus rdb dot what is it? Prop of what is it? ID. Means getting the value of which property? ID. You can use prop method or you can use one more method available, htr method. But prop is an enhanced method which support to all the browsers. So rdb radio button element object 1, right? Prop is a method to get the property value of which property? ID. That is going to concatenate to for plus what is required? Square bracket closing dot what is the method? Text. We got the text. Now simply display into what? HTML page in a div result. So here what required? Dollar of, come on, hash div what is it? Result dot what is it? HTML method. A display message what? Beta selected gender or checked gender is, right, beta going to be closed plus what is it? Text the mail plus their value on display oblique plus what is it? Value. It's not mandatory you please work with the text also and value also. You may work with the only text, you may work with the only value, you may work with the both. This is totally depends on your business development requirement. So I am just showing both things, whichever you required you just use that. So text oblique value, that's it. So again I repeat that, observe that what my requirement is. I have group of 2 radio elements as gender male and female. If user click on the button submit, in those 2 which one user has selected, nothing but checked either male or female, that must display into what? This div result. If no one is checked, then display what is it? No radio button is checked or any other message. So for this purpose I am first of all going to attach the click event function to which one? Button submit, so that whenever user click on the button submit, this is going to fire, and once this fire, then checking in the group of radio button, is anyone checked or not? If yes, then which one is checked using this line of code, we are going to get into what? RDB object. Then I want to get their value, so RDB dot what? Val method, get the value. But to get their text, we don't have any text property to the radio element. Text always defined in our HTML page for any radio element, for any checkbox element by using the word label. So what to do that? You have to find out label, whichever label having the for attribute with the value of the radio button, which radio button checked, which value? ID attribute value. So label for equals to RDB dot prop of what is it? ID plus concatenate the square bracket, because here square bracket is already open, so must be closed dot what is the method? Text, and display this text and value into what? This div result. So save it, come to the browser and just refresh the your HTML page. Fine. Anyone is selected gender, male, female? No. No selected, both are what is it? Unchecked. User has not selected any of the gender. Fine. User click on what? Submit button. Then please display message, no radio button is checked. So no radio button is checked. Or any message, please select gender if it is a mandatory. Right. Now user select what? Male. Click on what? Submit. display selected gender is male and their value oblique what is it, M. So click on the submit. You can observe that selected gender is what, male, oblique what is it, M. If user select what, female, so as soon as I select female, male is automatically what is it, unchecked, because in a group of radio button any one radio button can be selected. Now click on what is it, submit. You can observe selected gender is what, female, oblique what is it, F. So this is the way how we have done what, to identify in a group of radio button which one is checked on the button submit, click and displayed. If no one is checked, then display message no radio button is checked. This program maybe can be done in some other way also. How other way can do that? You observe as soon as button submit is clicked, right, then simply what people are going to do that, this variable is defined on the top, means as soon as button submit click, I am just identifying in this group of radio button which one is checked, that return into what is it, RDB. One condition what, if RDB dot what is it, val method is not equals to what is it, undefined, means this will return the what, checked radio button. But suppose among the two anyone is not checked, so here what will come, RDB come without any object, and you are trying to get the what is it, object val method. There is no value available because object did not return, it is nothing but dummy object, isn't maybe null, right? So we cannot get the what, val. If you try to access the val, it always give what is it, undefined. I am saying if not equal to undefined, it means value is there, it means this return the what, checked radio button. In that case this all code should be executed. If it is undefined, then go to what, else part, display no radio button is what, checked. Fine, save it, come to the browser, refresh once. In this two radio button anyone is checked, not checked, it means if you are going to write rdb.val, it returns what is it, undefined, means there is no value defined till now. I am saying if it is not equal to undefined, then get the text, get the value, display. But if it is a condition become false, go to else part and display no radio button is checked. So click on submit, you are getting message no radio button is checked. Because no radio button is checked, value is what, return undefined. I am checking if not equal to undefined, then get the text, get the value, display. Otherwise go to else part, display message no radio button is checked. Now user say female, click on submit, then display selected gender is what, female, oblique what is it, F. If user say male, click on submit, selected gender is what, male, oblique what is it, M. Male is a text, M is what, value, right? So like this also people can do. One more option there, don't write this condition. We have discussed whenever we use jQuery selector, if the selector expression match, it returns the what, element object. That object written in the form of collection, and in the collection either 0 elements, either 1 element, either more than 1 element. So if this line is going to run on button submit click and user has not checked any of the gender option, male or female, so this is going to give what, 0 elements into what is it, RDB. So you can check very simple, if RDB dot what is it, length is more than 0, it means 1 element is there, which is already checked. Then get their value, get their text and display into div result. If length is 0, means here condition I am checking greater than 0, but here in this what coming, 0 elements, this condition became false. Then go to else part, display no radio button is checked. So this condition I have checked into how many ways, 3 ways. So let's run this, check it is third way is running or not. Save it, come to the browser, refresh the page. Anyone is checked, no one is checked. If user click on what, submit button, so that line of code what returns, any checked radio elements or no checked radio elements, no checked radio elements, so returns what is it, 0 elements. So in that case in RDB length will be what, 0 or more than 0, only 0. I checked what condition, if length is more than 0, then get the text, get the value, display on the page in a div result. Otherwise go to else part, display message no radio button is checked. So I just say submit, you can observe what message coming, no radio button is checked. But as soon as user say yes, I selected gender male, click on submit, what is going to display, selected gender is what, male, oblique what is it, M. Same way, if you select female, so only one option checked now. Click on the submit. Now length is what? More than 0. Then come into a true condition, getting the text, getting the value at display. Select a gender. What is it? Female oblique. What is it? F. So this is the way how we do the example number. What is it? These two. Nothing but second example. So I hope you have been understand, right? And please practice more and more, and we'll continue with more examples in the next video session of the radio button example. Thank you very much for watching Naresh IT Technologies jQuery video session. Keep watching, subscribe for more video.